Back to the subject at hand, projects and behind. I'm hammering out dents in the new parts. I've got some patching to do and sealing on the new parts for the Omega. This is where we really start progressing solidly. My team got disrupted a couple months ago, really screwed me up, threw me out of balance. So I've been working on training a new team. So this is where we're at. We're going through cleaning up, re-prepping a bunch of stuff because it sat a minute. We want to get it so we're not, well, fucking anything up. Moved it around a bit. We got room to move, room to breathe. I'm going to be working on the skin of this deck lid. The underside's sealed with Pour 15. The plan is I'm going to get this and that hood over there. I'm going to get that body work done here in the next day or less. Get them painted, cured. I'm going to package them up and put them in storage. The fenders, I'm going to get them in high build primer to be blocked out. We'll set those aside. We'll get the inside of them sealed and all that. We'll get the inner fenders in here and work on those. There's a little bit of work to be done. Then we'll reassemble all the front end components that need to be reassembled at that point. Get it ready to shoot. There's a grill work. There's that. Basically, we're coming back off of a really bad situation, disorganization, and things getting pushed around. Alright, so I love these teardrop mallets. They're cheap, inexpensive, like a polymer type head. I can get up in here, move it around a little bit, and get up in here and see these dents. Distort the mill too much, create too many high spots. What's going to happen is there's going to be some dimpling involved in the head of the hammer. Right now I want to get it back out flush as much as possible. And it really helps if you have some kind of backlighting or cross lighting so you can look down and see what you've got going on. I mean, there's dents all over this thing. It's in really good shape comparatively speaking though. I mean, I couldn't be happier with what we were able to get. This dent right here is behind the headlight bucket. I always want to make sure when you're striking with these hammers, you're striking flat on the face. You want to be hitting nice and flat as you do. You do this or like this, you're going to cause more damage than good. On that wheel well. Case, flip this over real quick. Show them that dent and how we're working it out. See? Got a real wicked dent right there. He's got most of it out already. And a lot of what we're using, I'm going to lay that down. A lot of what we're using is handmade implements. Let's see that punch you're using there, buddy. That's what that is. Recognize it? It's a cheap Chinese extension that broke. We grind this in down if we need to for different profiles. But we use it for punching door pins, getting panels. Now, if you're watching, he's going to work around that radius slowly. He's not trying to push all that out in one spot. He's trying to work it around slowly. So he's letting it slide. It's keeping us from getting too much of a big imprint on one point. We're shooting the restoration of this Omega from here forward. I've got some photographs up on the internet on my Facebook page. See that right there? That was all underneath the paint that they put on it. Sealer. I used a good flexible sealer, direct to metal sealer. I'm not going to have this problem with this piece for many, many, many years. All paint, all sealers, all these products fail eventually. Our goal is to prolong that as long as possible. Now it's just surface, but it was nestled up underneath the paint. It was on there real loose, and I hit this with a line file, and it just knocked it all off in short order. I had a little bit of body work yesterday. You can see here the really bright shiny areas. I went back with a roll-lock and I addressed some of the heavier rust. I'm going to treat this whole panel in the areas where it is rusted with a rust killer. It's probably going to be a muriatic acid base. What I'm here to show you right now is side marker lights. Everybody wants to shave everything. Handles, markers. They just want to get rid of all the excess badging and bullshit on a car. For that, what you're going to need is a roll of your masking tape, a scrap piece of steel, appropriate gauge, 18 gauge sheet metal, which is about the same. It may be a little thinner than the original steel from '73. A pair of aviation snips, something to write with, and welders always help. We mask right over this thing. We mask right over the hole. Take a marker, your China pen, whatever. I'm marking this thing out. You got that marked out. Boom. That's your template. You take your aviation snips and you cut around the outside. I cut the piece out. You can see it's been ground down to surface it. It fits. Within reason. That's all you need. Is a reasonable fit. Alright, so I got it tacked in there. I got it fitted real decent. I'm going to go ahead and stitch it in various areas. And my dog is going to save me from it. And that is stitched in now. We'll have to go through and close in between all these stitches and go around the edges. Okay, I got it stitched in. I did warp a little bit of metal, but I also have damage up in here that I got to dolly out anyhow. So if we're needing to shrink or beating on with the hammer and dolly to stretch it a little bit, I'll get it back into its original form. Now you can see that. It's all welded. Now it's a short strand over my welds. I'll show you that as it progresses. There we go. That's where we omitted the marker light. Down there I still got to clean up. But basically we wound up, because there were so many little dimpled, like somebody walked across it with high heels. We just frosted it. I'm not done bringing all this back down to level. We just frosted the whole damn thing. I just kind of started getting this contour back. You can see where the mud's at. Nothing too thick, a couple mils thick maybe. I gotta blank out that one. I'll actually show you. I might show you guys that. You kind of got the gist of it on this one over here. But we're moving forward, we're making progress. Alright, we're going to revisit this blanking out these markers, okay? I got some good old-fashioned black cheapo spray paint. I actually use it for guide coat a lot of the time. And this one, you know, these little nubs that were here, they have a tendency to just burn up. You make a big old fucking mess there. You can't get the fit quite right. What I showed you before was a quick, simple, some snips, very minimally invasive to the original panel. We don't really care. We're never going to see these again. So what I did is I got that cut out pretty much square. I took a piece of flat stock that I've got. I set it behind there. I spray painted it. The trick is to spray paint straight on. Not at angles or anything like that. You want to hit it straight on so that it just hits straight back and casts that shadow. So I painted around that. Now I got an outline. Yeah, I gotta hit that with a roll lock, clean it up. I gotta clean that up. I don't care. I got a perfect fit now. I leave the black bar and cut the rest of the shit off. Stitch it in, hammer it out, fiberglass it over, it goes away. So that is the quicker, simpler way that I prefer. Just squaring up your edges, clean it up. You have less chance for mishap that way. If you can cut it out, putting in new metal anyhow, you're gonna be miles ahead.